I give you 3 months. If everything works out, you're wonderful. If not, you're gonna leave again. We need to give these experts the necessary time that they need.
Halo Akurasi TV, banyak pemain asing yang berlaga di Liga Indonesia dan kemudian berkarir menjadi pelatih, tetapi kembali lagi mencoba mengingat kecintaannya terhadap Indonesia, dan salah satunya adalah tamu kita pada siang hari ini yang memang sudah sangat spesial, pernah bermain di Indonesia, kemudian pernah melatih klub di Liga Indonesia juga, dan sangat spesial. Saya akan sambut tamu saya hari ini adalah Patrick Kluivert.
I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain, I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints, money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague, we all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make it.
Thank you very much. Terima
Apa
kasih
kabar?
banyak. Baik, dan kamu baik, apa kabar?
Baik, kabar baik. So I will give you some opportunity to speak bahasa first.
Yes, perfect, yes. Saya berbicara bahasa Indonesia sedikit.
This is nice.
Tapi I try step by step, I will be better.
Nice. So first and foremost, my question is like, how's life?
Alhamdulillah, life is very good. With me. I live in Germany. My keluarga is in family back home, and football every day, you know. I build my football, and I'm very happy.
Nice.
I'm very happy, yes.
So which part of Germany actually?
It's in Munich, actually.
Nice.
I live in Munich, yes.
So you are one of the fan of FC Bayern?
Yes, of course, you know, you lived and raised in Munich, so you have to be FC Bayern fan. And also my son is playing, I guess, 6 years in youth academy of Bayern Munich, and now I work with the Bayern Munich together.
Seriously?
Yes,
Nice.
I do individual coaching for top talents in Bayern Munich campus, so you have to be Bayern Munich fan if you're in Munich, you know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So Patrick, I think like we want also to remember about your career back in Indonesia.
Yes.
It's been a while. Also, we didn't meet, I think, like more than 5 years.
Yes.
But the last time you became the head coach, right?
Yeah, exactly. I was the last time when I was in Indonesia was kepala pelatih in Persija Jepara.
Okay.
Yes.
That was
2018.
2018.
Yes.
So before also you play here in Indonesia for how many seasons?
I played actually in Indonesia for 2 years.
2 years.
2 years I played in Indonesia. I started with the LPI, remember?
Yeah.
LPI in Indonesia, Cendrawasih, Papua.
Yeah.
My first season, my first impact in Indonesia. And the second year, I moved to Persiraja. Yes.
This is interesting, Patrick, because against like Aceh and Papua is both.
Yes, like, you know.
Maybe from the Europe is already covered by those
exactly.
2 cities, right?
Exactly. The distance and also, you know, you go from the one side to the other was huge for me. So I impact all Indonesia, but it was amazing time, to be honest. Indonesia time, my especially my career as a football player in Indonesia was something. Was
okay.
Good. Yeah.
Can you explain a bit like the first year at the time you arrived from Europe, and then it's like you have to deal to flying to Papua?
Well, this was a good story, to be honest. You know, I came. I was talking to my agent that time, and I was playing in Greece.
Yeah.
And Greece, you know, was a wonderful time there. And then the financial crisis in Europe, especially in Greece, came up.
Yeah.
And was tough. And so I decided to leave my club. But I felt that I wasn't finished yet. So I was looking for another adventure.
Mm-hmm.
And then my agent came up with this idea, and I remember exactly, it was in December, and he called me and said, "Patrick, I have a crazy idea. What about Indonesia Premier League?" And I said, "Let me check first on Google, you know." And then I checked it, because this is one point over there in Germany, or especially in Europe.
Yeah.
We didn't know very much about Sepak bola Indonesia.
For sure.
So you don't know, you check in Google, and then I came and then I flew to Singapore, first time in my life to Asia.
Okay.
And my wife was pregnant at home, and we became parents, and she was still in hospital.
Wow.
And my daughter was 1 day old, and the Indonesian guy said, no, if you want to make your contract happen, then you have to be there in 2 days. So my wife, she was still in hospital, and then my daughter, and I flew to Singapore, and then from Singapore to Jakarta, and then everything happened like a Hollywood movie. My bagasi don't come from Singapore. I was waiting like 1 full day to my bagasi, and then I went to the Jakarta airport, and I asked the girl on the counter, I asked her, now I have my baggage, and I want to go to Jayapura. Can you tell me what time is the flight? And she checked in the computer, and she told me, yes, it's 8 o'clock. You will have your flight. I said, okay, perfect. And what time I'm gonna arrive? Because I was already 30 hours on the way, And she checked again, and she told me 8. And I said, oh, you don't understand me well. What time I arrive? And she rechecked it, and she told me again 8 o'clock. So it was another 12 hours, man.
Yeah.
I went from Jakarta to Denpasar. I went to Makassar, another spot. I could not believe what happened.
Wow.
From Munich you go to Los Angeles during that time, and then this was inside Indonesia was massive.
Yeah.
But in the end of the day, I was very blessed, to be honest, to have this opportunity to come over here in this wonderful country, in this wonderful place, and especially the warm welcome of the fans, of the people, this beauty of this country that makes me forget, this tough time to come, and my first games and my first impact into this wonderful country. I said to myself, oh, this is it.
Yeah,
it's something special.
I still remember, I think until now you become one of the skill, and it's very good vision. The way you play is like a very, it's like a typical the attacking midfielder, playmaker.
Yes.
But what is the most unforgettable moment during, your spell, become the players in Indonesia?
Yeah. They have to say that it's many moment indah, right?
Moment indah. Nice.
It's nice, man. I remember, moment indah. I have a lot of moment indah, but to play in Persiraja was something because of the history of this country, of this spot, of this city, Kota Banda Aceh. They put a lot of harapan in me, so the people were very warm with me and like me, and I wanted to give them back. I wanted to give these people with this tragical history in this city something, and you could feel all over wherever you go, every taxi driver, even my teammates, they have stories what happened that day back in 2004. So I wanted to give them something back, and I remember one moment indah for me is the game against PSM Makassar, home game. It was very crucial for us to win, because at that time we played for qualifikasi to the international position in the table, and I remember all the city was waiting to this PSM Makassar game. And then I scored a goal, and I remember this goal was something, even for the people, they put so much hope, harapan into me. So we play in Harapan Bangsa, and I scored this goal, and there was a big mistake by goalkeeper, I remember. But you have to be there as a quality player. So this was a moment indah for me in Indonesia, I guess, sportific ways.
Okay.
Yes.
So during your playing career, you met with Indonesian player also,
Yes.
but which Indonesian player left the biggest, it's like impression?
Yeah, I have to say that I met a lot of good players, and there are some, amazing players on and off the pitch.
Okay.
For sure, Bambang Pamungkas is a legend. He's a legend in Indonesia, and his way to play football, first of all, but also his personality is something for me that you could feel even on the pitch that he is something, And other players, like younger players that time, Irfan Bahtim, when I was coming, Irfan was, young kid from Europe, and he did good. He did good on the pitch, and he did a wonderful, even this whole social media thing. He used it, and he knew how to use it, and this was something. And players like Bima Sakti, he was a good, strong opponent. Every game against him, I felt 2 weeks on my body, but he was good, he was a good person. Young players like that time, Andik Vermansia, now he's a Persiraja player, but back in the days he was playing for Persebaya, and he was a very good talent in Indonesia. And I like these guys, I like these guys, this powerful talent, I like it,
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not easy also, it's like you're coming straight from Europe, from Greece, but it's like what are the difference, it's like in terms of fundamental between Germany or maybe European football and with Indonesia?
For me, I have to say, now it's more clear for me what is the difference. As a player, you focus on your main spot, on your main target, so you play in your position and you try to put in your impact and you do what is needful. But now as a coach, I can see clearly the difference between European football and Indonesian football. It's we in Europe, especially in Germany, we have this education. We put a lot of power, I would say, into tactical. Tactical education. So this is one big difference, I would say. And the second big difference is the speed of the game. It's the game speed.
Okay.
It's different if you go to Premier League or even Bundesliga and watch how the game is built up by speed.
Yeah.
This is different. If you watch the Indonesia first division and you watch European football, you can see this difference.
All right. So I think like right now also is like the same problem, I would like say like that. Indonesia struggle also to find, you mentioned about Bambang Pamungkas.
Yeah.
And then after it's like a few generation also that looks like we are struggling also enough to find, like the typical of the quality, the same like Bambang Pamungkas, or maybe I would like to say also for instance in Germany also is looking for the replacement for Miroslav Klose, something like that. Is it because of the improvement of the development of the football currently?
Yeah. You're right. It's about the improvement, especially that area when you remember that we grow the tiki-taka style from Pep Guardiola.
Yeah.
And we implant this also to the Bundesliga and to the German education. And then, yes, we had this problem because at this time you don't need this part of number 9 striker. And but what we did in Germany, we solved this problem because we saw it and we solved it. Few years ago, when we checked and we found out that about in this kind of education that we now do, the development that we do now, this striker position will fall down and broke a little. So and you speak about the Miro Klose. Yes, you are true because Miro is a big and a number 9 striker like we used to have before. But we solved this problem in our development, and maybe we see not now the result, but in another few years we're gonna have this class striker, qualitas striker, like world class striker again that we had with Miro Klose and strikers before him, and that's the development that we have in Germany, that we're gonna have this strikers again, and same we have to do in Indonesia. We have to develop, we have to educate this pemain muda from the beginning, from the early ages. Then we can bring out this qualitas striker that we had with talent with Bambang Pamungkas and maybe a few more. But if we put our finger into development of pemain muda and do a good strategy of focusing this kind of development in here with the locals, then we have a big chance to bring out quality striker to compete in the highest level.
We want to discuss also about one word, talent.
Yeah.
Is it the same? I mean, like we discussed, let's say, like in terms of the grassroots level,
Yeah.
since like early age, the talent, is it the same in Europe and in Indonesia?
Yeah, you can say it's the talent. Let's say the level of the talent is the same.
Okay.
Maybe you can say in Europe you have other things that is more high than maybe here, but here for sure, 100% sure, you have more talent in specific points than you have in Europe. But we find these players in Germany in ages between 5, 6 and 7 years. We're gonna find this talent immediately and we develop them. So sometimes it's good for players to be street, old-fashioned street talent, which is amazing. But same as I come here as a coach, I worked with a few very good talents, but tactical development isn't really there, And in Europe, we start by finding these talents, and we develop them like over a 10 years program, and we make them to this high quality players.
All right. So this is going to be interesting because we mentioned about Europe, in Indonesia, especially maybe Asia also. It's like PSSI recently replaced. This is a hot topic actually for like the last 3 days. Replace Tae-Yong with Patrick Kluivert, and then it's like what are your thoughts about it? And then it's like was it right move?
Yeah, to be honest, you have arguments for both sides.
Yes,
to be honest, the coach he did well, and his development. You could see his development. To be honest, over the years that he was here in Indonesia, you could see that he changed something. But on the other side, I understand also the decision of PSSI because now we are in a hot position for the qualifikasi Piala Dunia, and they want to put in fresh energy, fresh spirit into the team also, but also with the move to make Patrick Kluivert new pelatih. He's a well-known, famous European high-class athlete before, and maybe he has the impact. Of course, it's hard work, but I can understand the PSSI decision to replace him with this guy because we as Indonesia, and I say we must have the opportunity and we must play for the qualifikasi for the Piala Dunia with this potential that we have in Indonesia, with this country, with this spirit, with these fans, with this hype of football. We need to go. We need to have the opportunity to be able to be capable to make it happen.
Yeah. So is there any differences in terms of the fundamental coaching? It's like between the coaching style, I would like to say, between the coach from Europe or coach from Asia.
Yeah, you can say everybody, every coach has his own, his own style of coaching. The one is more for the motivation. The other one is a very, very, very good tactical. Develop the guy, but in the end of the day, it's a point that's very important. It's sangat penting point is komunikasi. Komunikasi. Now, football before 10, 12, 15 years, you have to have a coach. He's like a police officer, and you say you're gonna have to do this and have to do that. It's not working anymore.
Okay.
The modern football isn't like that. The modern football, you need to have a relationship with each of your players. Every of your player have to trust you. And you need to build this relationship. He need to trust you and you need to trust him. And this is a term of communication. This is, I think we put some, some painting points on that education in Germany, especially in Europe, in this part of motivation, in this part of communication with our players.
Yeah, because sometimes also it's like it's like the team talk is also important, right? Also how to put it like some words into the play before the match.
Yes, exactly.
And what aspect of Indonesian football still need improvement?
Yeah, like we said, I think we have in Indonesia this high potential because we have talent, we have this spirit, we have the hype, we have the facilities as well. I tell you, we have the facilities, and we have many 100 million of young players who want to become football. So now what we need to do is to develop them, to have grassroots program, to make clear that this kind of players have the opportunity to play every week, have games, competition. We need to educate the coaches as well, the coaches for these young players. And if we go into this step, if we take this, what we see and what we can learn from Europe, for example, from this high divisions, like Premier League, Bundesliga, and La Liga as well, and we put it into Indonesia, and we give them the time that they need. Of course, it's like you cannot bring him in and you do it like 3, 4, 5 months, and you expect Piala Dunia. We expect Piala Dunia because we love our country and we wanted to have Indonesia in the qualification, but we face like tough opponents like Japan, and Bahrain and Australia, of course. But in the end of the day, Dika, it's 90 minutes game.
Yes,
and you can, as a coach, it's qualitas of coach. I like Patrick Kluivert, to be honest, and I'm happy that we have him. But in the end of the day, it's his qualitas. How he's confident, how he speak to his players. In my opinion, we need to have a strong defense, very, very professional defense, tactical, very high level defense. And then everything is possible, like the spirit of our fans, the spirit of our country, and inshallah we're gonna make it and make the surprise. Yes.
So also, Patrick, as someone who live in a football powerhouse country, right, in Germany, that consistently qualifies of World Cup, and the system is already there. You know, the mindset is already there. This is a part of the elite football. What should Indonesia focus on to continue improving?
We should focus we have a lot of experts in Indonesia. We have a lot of good minds. We have to place them in the right positions. First of all, we need to give these guys the time to work professional, high level, like we do it in Germany. It's not like I give you 3 months. If everything works out, you're wonderful. If not, you're gonna leave again. We need to give these experts the necessary time that they need. Again, I come back to one very sangat penting point, which is development. Development. Let's start better today than tomorrow with this development of our talents, with the development of our youth. And if we can implement this from Europe over here in Indonesia, and we sit here again in like 8, 9 or 10 years, are we gonna make every World Cup? And we're gonna make, hopefully, inshallah, we make big players become big players in Europe, like Indonesian player play UEFA Champions League, stuff like that, if we implant this into Indonesia.
So Indonesia will still have remaining World Cup qualifying matches, against Australia, China, Bahrain, Japan. Do you see that Indonesia will still have a chance to progress into qualification?
Yes, as I said before, of course, this teams, this opponents is qualitas, is big. And of course, we need a perfect day. But I'm sure that, as I said you before, as I told you, it's a 90 minutes game. And I remember I was playing a second Bundesliga in Germany, and we did play a game against Inter Milano first team in the test. And in the end of the day, it's 90 minutes, and it's not that they play with the B team. They play with the full first squad, and we play with the second division Bundesliga team. So it's 90 minutes. In 90 minutes, everything is possible, and we beat them.
Wow.
Yes, and we beat them. It was in Turkey in pre-season, and we beat them. And why? And this is the question: why shouldn't we beat Japan? Why shouldn't we beat Australia with our mentality, with our hype, with our spirit? Now with a coach that we hopefully can trust to bring out the best of our players. Again, it's tough, and we need to have a perfect day, but it's 90 minutes game. We need to be strong defensively. We need to be very strong defensively. And offensively, we can do something because we have the qualities. And we need the hype, we need the trust of the people, we need the spirit of the people, Indonesian people. And inshallah, we can make a big surprise. In the end of the day, that we are here and play these games is something. And if we want to be in a row, like all the time when we go for qualification, that we are being on top of the table, like we have to do it, we need to implement everything that we already talked about. I'm quite sure we can make it. We can make a surprise, and we put our hope, our harapan into Patrick Kluivert now.
Okay. You used to coach a club in Indonesia, so I just want to know, it's like in terms of your opinion, what were the challenge in achieving the target?
It wasn't easy because I started with selection. It was tough, a lot of 100 player come in. You need to check, and in the end of the day, the tactical mindset of these players again wasn't easy. So we had to work together with my staff, together with my brother. We have to work a lot on the basics of tactical, because individual, technically, speed, even the power that the players brought in was sometimes outstanding. But tactically ways was difficult. So we spent a lot of time to educate them in tactical ways. So we used every single minute for tactical development, and that was the big challenge for us. But in the end of the day, you can say we reached our target, because back in the days, maybe you remember, we faced the big clubs like Persib Bandung, and everybody was expecting that we're gonna lose 3 or 4-0, and we were close to beat them back home. Yes, and also big teams from second division, Persib Solo, we beat them all. So it was good. Sportific ways, we did not promote it because we lose a semi-final in penalty shootout. But in the end of the day, we were very happy. Of course, there were, like, let's say now I working in Germany. I do, as I told you, for the Bayern Munich campus. I do individual sessions for top talents. Every single session is on TV. Every single session, every single touch, Dika, is on TV. So afterwards, I do my reflection with the player. I do my reflection for myself with my staff, and we analyze everything like on point. See the touch, see what he do, see how he's moving, see his skin. And I come to Indonesia, and this is what I was expecting. Not only the games. Training sessions, every training session, to make individual speaks, for my playmaker. Look, this is your space, you have to move. This is what we do. Even amateur clubs in Germany do this right now. So this was tough challenge for me, that I didn't have this facilities back in the day in Japara, but I was very happy because the kids, they learn, and they learn every day. So I can say that was a challenge, but in the end of the day, it was very, very good. Yes.
Okay. So I think this is the last question, Patrick. So the last question will be like, do you still become, like a head coach also for a club here in Indonesia?
Oh yes, that's my target. That's why I'm actually here for, because as I told you, I do a lot of things in Germany. I run my own academy in Germany. I was very successful with some clubs in Germany as a pelatih, and now that's why I'm here to come back to my country that I love so much, Indonesia.
Nice.
So, and I wanted to be back in Indonesian football, and that's what I'm here for. And I tell you, and please mark my words, I'm going to be juara Indonesia.
Okay.
I'm going to be, and this
Inshallah,
video, inshallah, in this video, in a few years, you're gonna show back and say, look what he was saying there. I tell you, it's not a joke. I'm going to be in Indonesia champion.
Okay.
And that's what I'm here for. I wanted to come back into my country, and that's what I'm here for, to become a coach again.
All right, Patrick. So, it's like always loves to hear about such as, it's like that spirit. And also it's like, I really want also, it's like somebody who has a lot of knowledge about Indonesia already. And then it's like you spend a lot of times in the, it's like in Germany with, it's like a updated version of the football, so that hopefully you can transform your knowledge into the Indonesian football. So Bismillah, good luck, everything for, it's like the rest of the, it's like the time. Hopefully we can see you.
Inshallah, yes.
Yeah, and soon, it's like with some clubs in Indonesia.
Thank you very much for inviting me. Thank you very much for having me over here, and hopefully we're gonna have a good journey. Yes.
All right. Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you very much.